I want to thank the music ministry again, the singers, everybody. We had the whole church up there singing. That was good. Great. You know, when you go to basketball games, they have the kiss cam that scans the audience. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
We need a worship cam. And single people out who are worshiping. You know, we can single out Latricia. She has a real elegant, zealous way to worship. And then Wanda got an old school way of worshiping. And then a Brill, whatever Brill's do is on, I need some of what she's got. And we can bottle a Brill's energy. We can sell it as a drink. But it's awesome. It's awesome. Everybody worshiping in their own way. That's amazing. Amen? I just want to clarify too, Edna's brother's name is Zeus, right? And we've been praying for him with stomach cancer. That God will overcome it. I want to pray again just about the sermon and everything else and keep on going. Amen? Heavenly Father, thank you so much for who you are. Because you are good. That song, he cuts right to the point, the heart of it. Thank you for your grace. And again, we pray for Edna's brother Jesus and his battle with cancer and all those who are ill, traveling. God, we pray for the message today. That is exactly what we need to hear. That is your words, not my words. It's your spirit, not my spirit. That you say exactly what needs to get said. And I pray for our hearts that they're open, that they're ready, that our minds are not distracted. But we allow your word to impact us as only your word can. We pray all this in your name and through the Son, Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. Amen and amen and amen. Okay, so that's me. If you don't know who I am, I'm Frank Davis. I'm the evangelist here, and so I'm going to preach the word today and talk about some stuff. And today's topic is vision. Amen. We're going to talk about vision a little bit and the importance of vision in our lives. And to help get our minds right, as is my custom sometimes, we're going to have a little video.
Do you want to know what it is? The matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to do. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Yes, I don't know if the mic's on or not. It's not? It is? Look, if you've seen the movie, you know that's a really cool scene, right? One of the coolest scenes in the history of all movies. And I've got my fandom for all things sci-fi and fantasy going strong today. Brian, Kenya and I were at Dragon Con in Atlanta yesterday. And Brian graciously helped us drive there because he's not a fan of such things, but he had an experience. And that was an experience. It was. There were some really excited, weird people there. They were very, very excited about what they're into. And we got to meet Stanley and all that kind of stuff. So that's that genre. I'm in this kind of movie. But more than that, you can do a whole sermon series in that one scene. Because I don't know what the movie producers meant or what they were trying to get to with Matrix, but man, that does not describe spiritual life. That we're born into a lie. We're born into deception. And the world we live in, the world we think we know, is not the world as it really is. And that God needs to open up our eyes. If that doesn't describe spiritual life, I don't know what does. And so we've got to decide this morning whether we want the blue pill or the red pill. The blue pill, I just preach a little nice sermon and you go on and live your life the way you live your life, and we don't have to really ask ourselves hard questions.
Right.
But the red pill, we got to open wide our hearts and allow the Spirit of God to challenge us, to change us, and transform us. Amen. And we get to decide which one is going to be this morning. Amen? Amen. To help us get there and talk about vision, let's turn to 2 Kings chapter 6, and we're going to read verses 8 to 18. 2 Kings chapter 6, 8 to 18, and King is gracious to let me borrow a computer again for preaching. That's why it's pink. That's not my choice of colors. I am not the pink Power Ranger, Southern preaching. I think she changed it to pink to encourage me to get my own computer. I don't know. Verse 8. It says, now the king of Aram, verse 8, chapter 6. Now the king of Aram was at war with Israel. After conferring with his officers, he said, I will set up my camp in such and such a place. The man of God sent word to the king of Israel, beware of the passing of that place, because the Arameans are going down there. So the king of Israel checked on the place indicated by the man of God. Time and again Elisha warned the king, so that he was on his guard in such places. This enraged the king of Aram. He summoned his officers and demanded of them, tell me, which of us is on the side of the king of Israel? None of us, my lord the king, said one of his officers. But Elisha the prophet, who is in Israel, tells the king of Israel the very words you speak in your bedroom. Go find where he is, the king ordered, so I can send men and capture him. The report came back. He is in Dothan. Who knew that Elisha was in Dothan, Alabama? Did y'all know that? Then he sent horses and chariots and a strong force there, and went by night and surrounded the city. When the servant of the man of God got up and went out early the next morning, and armed with horses and chariots had surrounded the city. Oh no, my lord, what shall we do? The servant asked. Don't be afraid, the prophet answered. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Amen. And Elisha prayed, open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see. Then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. As the enemy came down toward him, Elisha prayed to the Lord, strike this army with blindness. Sure, he struck him with blindness, as Elisha had asked. This is a good passage. Who says the Bible is not exciting? So the king of Aram is fighting with the king of Israel, and he has plans to defeat Israel, and every time he makes a plan, Elisha would announced it to the king of Israel and said, look, do this, do that, do that, do that. And the king of Aram was like, man, they must be spies. How do they know our plans before we even get them going on? They said, no, this is Elisha. This is the doing of the prophet that's in Israel. So they're making their plan to capture Elisha and bring him back to Aram. They didn't want to kill him, they want to capture him. They wanted him on their side, right? And they surround the town of Dothan where he was. And no, it wasn't Dothan, Alabama. Okay? They surround the town of Dothan where Elisha was, and his servant sees that man, this huge, vast army surrounded them to capture one man. You know, it's interesting. Sometimes people that aren't quote-unquote Christians respect the Lord more than we do. Over and over and over, the king of Israel didn't respect Elisha and didn't listen to the prophets and didn't go to them for help. But even the king of Aram, he had so much respect for the power that Elisha had through God, he didn't send one man to get him there. He sent an army. Now, that's still underestimating God, but it was more respect that Israel had. And sometimes we don't respect the Lord. Sometimes we don't respect the Lord the way that we should. We don't respect him the way that we should. Anyway, they sent this army, and they thinking, man, look, this huge army's got to be enough for a prophet, right? I mean, it's a lot, but it's good enough. And the servant sees the army, he's panicking, and Elisha says, man, look, don't worry about it. Because those who are with us are more than those who are with them. He says it's a matter of vision. You can't see what I see. You can't see what God sees. God's got things working. God's got things laid out. Every day around us, the world that we can't see because we're in the sea, there's a spiritual world all around us. It's not that the problem facing Elisha was not real. The army was real. God was bigger. God's army was bigger and more powerful. And even though the servant couldn't see it, it was there. Elisha could see it. He didn't have to say, well, God, give me help. He said, look, God, open the eyes of the servant. Give him vision so that he can see what we see. Amen. This isn't a God help us problem. This is a we need more vision problem. Wow. That we need to be able to see what God sees. We need to be able to see how God has this worked out. So we're not just depending on our own strength and our own. I mean, look, if they couldn't see that, they would try to figure it out. How do you figure out how to beat an army? Do you surrender? Do you try to escape? I mean, they're trying to work it out their own way, and it never ends up well when we try to work out problems our way. When we lack vision, we're trying to figure it out from a human point of view. And we get in situations. You ever gotten in situations? Maybe you're in a situation. Maybe you're in a debt situation you don't know how to get out of. Financial situation. You're in a family dispute situation with, mothers and daughters, mothers and sons, fathers and kids, and fathers not around the kids. Kids don't know where the father is, the marriage tension. And these are issues, these are things that are real. These feelings, these problems, the challenges. Maybe you're contemplating divorcing your marriage. Maybe you just went through a divorce. And these issues and feelings are real things. Dealing with the challenges of a blended family. Dealing with trying to start again with a relationship having been hurt so much in the past. Dealing with learning how to trust again. Dealing with trying to have a relationship but not doing it God's way. And maybe you're sleeping together or you're living together and you know it's not right, but you can't figure out how to make this work without doing what you're doing. And you see the problem and you're trying to work it out your way. With your wisdom. And what needs to happen is that we open up our eyes. And fall behind in school, and we contemplate, man, maybe getting a paper from online that is plagiarism. Or trying to get that test answers online. Not that anyone's ever done that or thought about it. Not in this room, but it's happened. I've heard it's happened somewhere in the world of studenthood. But and on and on and on and on and on, we get in situations. And the only way I know how to deal with hurt is to hurt somebody back. Or to be resentful. Or to distance myself. Or not to let someone need someone again. Not to trust again. Well, I'm going to depend on me again. And that's my way of dealing with the army that's too big for me. Because I've got to do it on my own. I pray to God, but I depend on me. I sing to God, but I count on me. Well, your best thinking has made the mess that you're in. How is your best thinking going to get you out of the mess that you're in? Your best thinking got you captured by army in the first place. How is your best thinking going to defeat you? Man, your best thinking ruined your first marriage. How are you going to do a second marriage on your best thinking? It wasn't me, it was them. Look, I'm not even getting all that. I just know, unless the Lord builds the house, unless the Lord builds the house, come on, friend, the builders build in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman stands guard in vain. Psalm 127, right? That God's got the foundation, and so many of my decisions got with the foundation, so they exploded. So why now is my best thinking going to get me out of the challenge of my family, the challenge of my relationship, the challenge of my debt, the challenge of my job, the challenge of the circumstance? How am I going to get out of that depending on me? Well, I'm a man. I don't depend on people. I don't need advice. I'm just going to work it out. All right? That's why we die here. We're stupid. That's stupid. I'm not just a member, I'm a president of the Men Can Be Stupid Club. Our best thinking, your best thinking, is not going to hold us. You got to open your eyes to God's vision, and then you'll see to depend on God and not yourself. Does that make sense? Without vision, we're in a whole lot of trouble because God is working even when we can't see it. Right. Two things that happen when we don't have vision. The first thing is your God is too small. Next slide. Your God is too small. There you go. That's the first thing that happens when we depend on ourselves and not God, or we can't see God's vision. That God becomes too small. In other words, the problem is bigger than God. Now, we don't say it that way because that doesn't sound very spiritual. But emotionally, we just feel the problem is too big for God, so I got to handle it. Like we're bigger than the problem, right? But at the end of the day, God is too small. And that's why we say, someone will say, man, what do you think I need to do? He said, well, the Bible says you should do whatever. And we pause. We go, yeah, but you don't understand my situation. And what we're saying is my situation is bigger than the Bible. So, I've got this girl, and I know we should be sleeping together, but I'm afraid we don't sleep together, we're not gonna have a relationship. Yeah, but this is what the Bible says, bro. Yeah, but you don't understand. You don't understand my girlfriend. You don't understand my situation. Or I have this financial situation. Or I have this situation here. Or I have this problem with my husband, and how do I resolve? Well, the Bible says you should forgive, and you don't understand what he did. You don't understand the circumstance. I've got this friend, and they hurt me. Well, this is what the Bible says. Yeah, I get that. I bet that's what you. But I need real advice, but you don't understand the situation. And what we're saying is, see, God doesn't apply here. This is bigger than, I need something more practical than God. Your God is too small. It's not that your problem is too big. Your problem is what it is. The army is real. I'm not trying to say there's no army. Please don't interpret this sermon as saying your problems are not real. Or your challenges are not vast. Or the illness you're struck is not real. Whatever it is, the mountain that's in front of you is not a mountain. I'm not trying to say the mountain is small. I'm just saying God is much bigger than the mountain. Your mountain is the mountain. God is the universe. There is no comparison to the mountain and the universe. You cannot question the one that made the mountain and can unmake the mountain. He spoke the mountain into existence. He can speak the mountain out of existence. I'm not questioning it. It's not that the mountain is too big. Your God is too small, and you are too small, and I'm too small to overcome the mountain by myself. Hallelujah. All my solutions create bigger problems. We need vision. Because without vision, God becomes too small. A couple of passages. John 16, that's slides for those. Don't even turn there. John 16:33 simply says, I told you these things that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Jesus says, look, you can have peace because I've already overcome the world. I'm bigger than all the world's problems. I've already conquered the world and its problems. 1 John 4:4. 1 John 4:4. You dear children are from God and overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. The context of this passage is the Antichrist. Okay? And referring to the Antichrist, he says, don't even worry about it because you guys have already overcome all. We're making a big decision. The Antichrist will be a problem. And the Antichrist in the Bible is plural, not singular. Right? It's not one individual. It's a type of individual. Okay? And so look, don't even worry about them. It's a them, not a him. Okay? Don't worry about them. You've already overcome them. Because if you have the Spirit in you, see, he's trying to tell you there's the army's already there. You cannot believe in that army. Amen. The spiritual answer is the answer. Now, even if I say that, you doubt, some of y'all doubt that. The spiritual answer is the answer. If you've been deceived by this world, you've been living that blue pill life. You need to take that faith life, that red pill life. The spiritual answer is the answer. You got to free your mind.
Come on, Frank.
And overcome the world. You can't beat the world with the world. Thank you very much. 1 John 5, verse 4. For everyone born of God overcomes the world. This is the victory that's overcome the world. Even our faith. Who is it that overcomes the world? Only the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God. Not just to say it or to sing it, but to believe he's that big. He moved the empty tomb. He's not in the grave. And the one I pray to just isn't some concept or an idea. He's not in the grave. And if he can move the stone, he can move your bills. If he can move the stone, he can change your husband. If he can move the stone, he can fix your family. If he can move the stone, then your God is not small. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Don't let your God be small this morning. When we lack vision, our God is small. Your God is small. My God is small. And so are you. And so am I. Turn to Jeremiah chapter 29. That's that slide as well. Jeremiah 29:11. God just says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. And this was written to Israel during some of the worst times in the history of the nation of Israel, when many believed that God had forsaken them and forgotten them. And God's word to them through the prophet Jeremiah was, I have plans for you. I have plans for you. And my plans do not involve leaving you in indulgence surrounded by harm. My plans do not involve leaving you in the situation that you're in. My plans are not to hurt you or to harm you, but to prosper. To prosper life. You're not so old that that's no more plans for you. You're not too young. You're not too insignificant. Right? You're not too, I've got plans for you. I've got plans to prosper you, not to harm you. You may have lost vision for your life. See, one of the reasons why we don't do things God's way is that we settle. That we settle. That we settle, right? And we settle for believing that this is the best that we can do. You ever done that? Yes. This is the best situation. This is the best. This may not be ideal, but it's the best that we can do. And whether it's a job or a relationship or how we're pursuing the relationship, whatever it is, if I wait on God's way, it ain't never going to happen. So this is the best that I can do. If I wait on God to fight for me, it's never going to work. This is the best that I can do. If I wait on this is the best that I can do. This may not be ideal, but this is all I'm good for. This is all that's going to happen to me. And we settle. Either settle on how we go about things, or settle on what we're shooting for, depending on the person. Or sometimes we settle on both. And God says, look, I've got a great plan. And I don't know what your plans are. My plans are great. And unlike your plans, sometimes we've got great vision too, but our vision harms us. Because we do it our way. And it's like those sci-fi movies where the mad scientist has a great plan, a great vision. And he's going to accomplish some great thing. And he does, but there's a side effect. And the side effect ain't never good. Go watch a sci-fi channel and explain it for you. Right? And we got all these grandiose plans, right? But there's always a side effect. Because you can't get a spiritual goal by unspiritual means. Amen. You're not going to accomplish that big happy family, which is a spiritual thing, whether you believe in God or not, through unspiritual means. You're not going to have this great dynamic relationship through unspiritual means. You're not going to have fill in the blank through unspiritual means. You're not going to get there. So sometimes we settle in our vision. Sometimes we have a vision and we settle in the process. We compromise the process. One way you're not shooting for great things if you don't believe in great things for you anymore. The other way, you're shooting for great things, but you're doing it your way, and you're compromising how? But your ways don't prosper. They harm. They're wrong. God said, my plans are to prosper you. And my plans will have a negative sound effect. You ever seen those drug commercials? First of all, they should outlaw drug commercials. I mean, there's something very wrong in society where for prescription drugs, things that my doctor has to prescribe, you're advertising to me. Am I a doctor? Should I be prescribing medication for myself? Don't get me started. All right? But anyway, they have these drugs, prescription drugs, and they advertise to the public. And they talk about, man, this is new Eureka drug. Eureka drug will make you live longer, go faster, and it's all slow, and you got to check people. You'll live longer and run faster and have vitality. And at the age of 60, you'll feel like a 25-year-old man, and you'll be more handsome, and you'll be much smarter, and it will be great, and it's great and bright colors and it's slow and you hear everything it's saying, and then they go, and they start going really fast. And that's the side effects. And you slow it down, it's like 90% will take this drug, the arms fall off, and you see in the back, and they drop dead, and the hair falls off, and they sprout 7 toes. If your wife's pregnant, you touch her, she'll die. And it goes on and on and on. And there's incredibly horrible side effects of these amazing drugs. Not to mention, if you wait 2 commercials later, there's a commercial for a lawsuit for last year's miracle drug. So the miracle drug from last year, people are suing them over because they did the dropping dead and the sprouting 4 legs, and they're suing them over that drug. And my guess, the miracle drug this year will be the same way. There are no negative side effects for godliness. None. He says, but there is a catch. You got to seek me with all your heart. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you got a hard time trusting and you feel justified, well, I've been hurt, I just can't trust, you're going to miss heaven. Wow. And you can try to debate your way in. Well, God, I just had a hard time trusting. You're not going to fast talk God. You're going to have to trust God to make it. You're going to have to trust God to make it. You're going to have to trust God. He's got your best interest at heart. You got to have to trust God. There's a bigger vision than what you see. You got to trust God. There's a bigger plan than what you can handle. You got to trust God that the army that surrounds you is surrounded by a bigger army. You got to trust God that if you do things exactly His way, exactly His way, exactly His way, and wait on His timing, His time. That His plans to prosper you and not to harm you. It's going to work itself out. But you've got to trust Him. Because He's not the one that let you down. And He's not the one that broke your heart. And He's not the one that messed it up. Other people did, and we're going to be honest, we did. We're so mad at other people, we can't really evaluate ourselves. Yeah, I'm sure they messed up, but we weren't any saints. At least I know I've never been. Trust Him. That's the catch. Just don't believe Him. You got to seek Him. You got to seek Him, pursue Him, obey Him, hold on to Him with all your heart, and you will be prospered by this incredible plan that He has for you, which is better and greater than any plan you can conceive of, and bigger than any obstacle that can be put in your way, even the ones that we put in our own way. But you got to trust in Him. And get past the skepticism and the world and our best thinking and just trust in the Lord. And grab hold to His vision and not mine. The red pill, not the blue. And He will set us free. Amen. That makes sense to you? Yes. This morning the question is, what's it going to be? What are you going to choose today? Are we going to live one more day trying to function on our best thinking with the obstacles that stand in our way in life? Or are we going to turn ourselves in? Sometimes we're so busy trying to work it out, we're too busy for God. I know I need to study the Bible more. I know I need to go be about this. I'm trying to work my life out. Hello, McFly. You don't know the reference, go look the movie up. McFly. and you don't make a choice to live in faith, you just suck on that blue pill and miss the point. What's it going to be today? Yeah. Are you going to be entertained or changed? Are you going to decide to trust the Lord today? To turn yourself in today so he can prosper you with his vision today. But we all decide to trust the Lord so he can prosper our lives. That he's not small and you're not small. And the God will